Hey there, everyone. This is Andrew Gautron, Director of Customer Success here at Autocene. Today, I'm going to be showing you the 311 request system, which is one of our library application templates. Just a quick FYI on what a library application template is. It is one of many templates that we at Autocene have as a foundational framework that you can start out when building your application. These types of templates house a number of different items that roughly frame out what your application will be doing. So things in this nature, where we're talking about 311 system, it may be handling submission requests, it may have workflow elements behind the scenes, we may have dashboard components, so on and so forth. These templates give our customers a good start in kind of creating their own applications where they can take and leverage those frameworks to really create their own application out of it. So the main application that we're going to be talking today, however, is actually the 311 request system template. So 311 requests, if you have not encountered these types of systems before, just as a quick primer, 311 requests are where a person who's living in a municipality, like a city or a town or something along those lines, can make a request for things that are happening within their township or their city. Kind of an example of this would be, let's say that there is some snow on my sidewalk and it was caused by one of the city plows. Well, maybe I want to make a request around that for somebody to come clear that if it's a part of my city's kind of bylaw regulations for the city to perform those duties. Other types of 311 requests, maybe comments or concerns about the taxi system in the city. Or maybe there's a fence that's been knocked over on public property. It allows regular citizens to go in, make requests, make the city infrastructure team aware of what's happening around the city so that they can go fix those. So, a unique thing about this application that I'm going to be showing you today, so the 311 request system on the side of the citizen who is reporting is actually a standalone template. And that means that we don't have to log in. We don't have to create a guest account. This application can actually stand by its own and be faced out to the public or faced out to a certain party without engaging in any kind of account services. That means that you could potentially put this as a hyperlink on your main website to direct people to type of application, and that kind of idea would be maybe like a ticketing system or a request system like this one, or an FAQ application. Those types of apps where you don't need to understand the context of who that person is. So it's like a anonymous template, if you will. So with this request template, what we're going to talk about, we're just going to talk about doing a request from the citizen's point of view. So a couple of different tabs that we have here. We have the settings tabs. Settings tabs are kind of different by each town and city who has their 311 request system. I have seen a lot of different variations on this. Within my own city, they have things like reporter information where you can input your first, last name, email, phone number, things that the city can get back to you about. Other things could be like FAQ, documentation about the system, things like that. We have the new request, which we'll be going into in a moment here, making a new request. We have public recent requests, so we can actually go in and see all the public requests that might be happening. Okay, so we could see public facing requests. That means people who have flagged it to be viewed by the public. And we have my requests, and my requests could be determined by the reporter information. Again, certain ways that you could do this is that you could create a temporary guest account, which we are not doing in this example. We could have passwords or unique identifiers to pull back that information for that person to understand where their ticket is. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go do a new request. So let's take the idea that I, as a citizen, am making a new request here. Well, I can click that new request. I have a number of different items that are going to guide me to what kind of request I'm making. So you can see they're all kind of categorized here. We could have a light repair, or that taxi or limousine compliments or concerns, trees, shrubs, waterways, sewer. It really depends on kind of your municipal location. Things like beaver sightings and concerns, well, that may be prevalent for me, who lives in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, but not for somebody who is in the city of Ventura, California. Okay, so again, all these types of items, they're configurable. You can make them your own. You can take away certain things. You can add certain things to these user interfaces. Now, let's say that there is snow on the road in terms of my request. Let's say that a city snowplow has come and tossed some snow onto my sidewalk, and I don't want to shovel that because that's the city's problem, right? Well, there's a couple of things that my new request is going to do. We can see that we have a new snow on road request. We can attach a photo. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to attach a photo here. Let's say that, let's just find my snowy sidewalk picture. Let's add that. So I've added my snow on sidewalk. Again, these types of controls, you can automatically have those latch on to things like a camera roll or your tablet's picture functionality or video functionality. Those types of devices, since Autocene is completely web-based, you can interact with those types of systems on the device that you're interacting with. Okay, so if I took a picture directly from my camera control, I could add it here. Let's put in a location. Let's just say Huntbourne Road, Northeast, Calgary. Types of locations, you could interact with things like GIS or Google Maps or something along those lines. You can utilize Autocene Passport to interact with those systems. But right now, location is just kind of free-based to get a general idea. Let's just say that there is snow on the sidewalk from City Plow. Let's go to our issue. Our issue is a pick list behind the scenes. So we're actually interacting with a Microsoft SQL database to present this pick list based on the type of request that we're doing up here. But again, you can interact with things like RESTful services, SOAP services, different types of solutions that you want to kind of entwine with. It could be like an Oracle database, you know, just kind of run-of-the-mill things that you would normally have within a user interface. Okay, so let's say we want a clearing request. I want my sidewalk clear from the plowed snow, and we could say it's on the corner house with Jeep out front. So once I've filled this out, I'm going to submit this. Submitting is going to take all that metadata that we have, so the attachment photo, the metadata located in the inputs. It's going to take that, it's going to submit that to your Autocene database. That means you have full control over the data, the attachments, and where they're going. Attachments could also go to third-party systems, things like SharePoint or some sort of content management system that you may be interacting with. So, our citizen has made their request. What is going to happen on the city side? So on the city side, we can have a couple of ways that this is going to interact with. You could have a team that has a central account where they can log in, they can interact with their actions queue. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to log in. Logging in, of course, you could have multi-factor authentication. You can have those ADFS services for single sign-on. A lot of different ways that you can do that to control your accounts when you're logging in. You can see that I have 2 new requests. And let's say that I'm the supervising agent that can go into my actions. I can see it's been sent in by a citizen. It's a new request for snow on the road. Well, I can go in, I can take action and view what was submitted. Okay. I also have a list of attachments. On the plus side, if you have something like a group mailbox, you may get something like this, where we can control what types of requests are coming in. So you can see that I have full control over my attachments. So if I pull that over, there's my snow from the plow and that. I have an idea of what's going on. New request, and I can click here to take action and be directed right to where I need to look. I can assign it to an agent. So we're at the supervisor level here. What I can do is I can go in, I can view which agents have active requests happening. So agent 1 has 3, 2, 2, 3, 1, and then agent 4 has 0. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a look. I can see who has what going on. You can see that we copied the information and the attachments. We're just going to assign it to agent 4. We're going to submit that. And now agent 4 is going to receive an email for action to do a kind of a spot check on what we're doing. Okay. So a spot check from the agent's point of view, it's like, okay, I've been assigned an item that I need to look at. I can see the chain of information that's happening. So our initial request, what the supervisor has assigned. I can see of course, the attachments, and we're keeping track of who's been assigned what with our workflow that's been attached to our Autocene application. So I'm going to open up our service request. As an agent, we now have a different user interface. You can see that we can pre-populate information, and we can put some agent remarks. And let's say that snow has melted at time of request. So from kind of start to finish, we've taken our request, we've assigned it to an agent. The agent has gone out, looked, sees that the snow has melted at the time of the request, and it's dealt with, and we can close out that ticket. So that's kind of an end-to-end process of kind of how you can use a 311 template. Again, you can make this as robust as you want it to. You can have multiple different levels, kind of from the initial submission to the end result where somebody is going to check. So you have full viewership of kind of that end-to-end process and the metadata that you're interested in. You could also begin taking this data, hook it up to your favorite visualization software like Microsoft Power BI, Tableau, Click, those types of things. You can make graphs, reports, dashboards, see that information, have access to that information, and more importantly, be in control of that information. I want to thank you today for kind of taking a quick look of how we can utilize Autocene Enterprise application platform to build out a 311 system. I hope you check it out, and thanks for your time.